Hello, my name is Anthony Hohola, and today I will be talking about birth control. As for number one, everyone knows what birth control is, but this is considered over-the-counter birth control, as anybody can buy it pretty much, and today I will be explaining the pros and the cons of using over-the-counter birth control. Number one, some of the pros of over-the-counter birth control is that it has increased access, but the OTC makes birth control more accessible to those who have difficulty obtaining it. So for people who may not have access all the time, or who can't go in there without like a ID or something, it's very accessible now, as anyone can just walk in there and grab it. Another pro is a very good convenience, as there's no need for prescription, as a lot of people, what they would do for other types of important drugs, but they would have to go to a doctor's office first, and then they would have to wait for the doctors to put it in, and then they have to go pick it up at the nearest drugstore, CVS, Walgreens, and then they would get it. That's not like this, as since it's over the counter, you see it, you grab it, you buy it. You don't have to make an appointment for a doctor's appointment, go to the doctors, make it seem like you need it, and then they send it over to the drugstore. No, you just go straight there, you buy it, it's yours. Very convenient. Another thing is reduced costs, as since it's eliminating it from being a prescription drug, it reduces the costs and it makes the prices a lot lower. As if you were to buy a prescription drug from the doctor's office or somewhere else, it would be a lot more, since it's prescribed to you, and it's not as like a special type of drug just for you, as it more is an open type of drug where anyone can buy it, so it won't be as expensive as a regular prescription drug. And that is from the medical journalist source, and the public health report source, and the government health agency source. From all three of those, have increased access, convenient, and reduced costs. Some of the cons that come with the over-the-counter birth control: it has lack of guidance, as with prescription drugs, the doctors give you step-by-step on how to take it, this and that, what's the proper way to take it, what do you eat with or without it. There isn't really much of a guidance. You kind of just read the back of the box, and it's not really specialized for you. So it could be a little bit of a concern, as you don't want to mess up and, I don't know, not take the right amount or take too much and something bad happens. Another con is that it has a lot of missed opportunities of health reports, as some people say that they consider them having a lot more health issues, as it's not as prescribed to you, so you don't know how much doses that you personally need to take, and it could just be a lot of inconvenience for you. And as anyone could buy it, a lot of the cons are people that are younger age or older age can buy that, and then it wouldn't be safe, as people could be using it for another way, not just for birth control, but for other drug uses. And that was from the Health Citing Report, New Outlets, and the books, Educational International Institution books, from those sources. And to kind of sum it up, is I'm more taking the pro side, as I've never bought any personally myself, but it seems like there is a lot more pros than there's cons to this, and I feel like the pros are more sustainable, more valuable, that you can use, as increased access, because now birth control never used to be, I can just go to the store and buy it. So now that it is probably very important for some people who need it ASAP, rather than having to wait a week or two, which could be very beneficial for some people. And obviously convenience, don't have to go to the doctors, and reduce costs, just because it is not now a prescription drug. It's more obviously as an OVC, over-the-counter drug, that a lot of people can start using now. And as for the cons, it's pretty self-explanatory on how it should work, as you don't really need a doctor to kind of go over there and tell you how to do step by step. But for some people who do need that guidance, it does lack guidance, so that people can take the right amount, the right dosage, and not have any issues or health problems with any of that. And to come out in the conclusion part is that I think most people would obviously agree with me, as there's a lot more pros than cons here. And so I just think that for overall, just for everyone in general, it should be a lot more beneficial for them that it is now over the counter instead of prescribed drugs. Saves time, saves you more money, and it really does a lot. So for some people who may not be able to afford a doctor's appointment, the co-payments, and for also a very reduced price on the drug itself. And so I just think for a lot of people who would want to take this, even though you even need it, to be honest, but if you obviously are someone who does use this, it is probably very much more beneficial to you. And I think for people who don't use it, probably are on the con side because they don't realize how much beneficial it can be for someone to go ahead and buy the over-the-counter drug that you don't need to go to the doctor's office for, and that you can stop at any CVS store that you could want and be able to obviously buy it at a very lower cost rate and your convenience, obviously, and reduced cost. And all the sources that were there were the medical journalists, the government health agencies, the healthcare organizations, public health reports, educational institution, new outlets, and books were all resources and the sources that I used to find all of these pros and all these cons. Now, that is it for today, as over-the-counter birth control was one of my topics and one of my main points that I wanted to make that I had. And so that is all that I will be saying here today, and I will be replying to anybody else's topics that they may have had. So thank you.